Hi everyone, just wanted to do a little follow-up video after the walk around of the Defender 110 Ruby, who we've named the vehicle. Just wanted to talk a little bit about who I am and what the history of my Land Rovers I've had, the future trips planned, trips we've done before, that sort of thing. So I'll start by saying I'm Aaron, originally from Essex, now living in the north of England. I'll talk a little bit about past Land Rovers. You can probably see right behind me that Discovery one just there was the first Land Rover I owned about 3 or 4 years ago, so still fairly new to them. I went out with a friend to a quarry for an off-roading day. So you basically pay £20 and you go off-road all day, drive where you want in about 100 acres of land. So that sort of idea went with him and his Discovery. That's where the sort of love of Land Rover started and off-roading. So decided to look at Land Rovers there. Decided Discovery one was the way to go. Went and viewed a few vehicles and decided on this one. Little did I know when I got it, it needed a lot of work. You know, it needed a lot of tidying up and mechanical work to get right again. So just sorted it out, made sure everything was working on it, did a few repairs, replaced a few parts, and then went out and did some green laning. Did the quarry days again. After doing that for a while, decided to use the vehicle for camping and travelling about a bit, you know, longer distance. We were living down south at the time and we liked to go up to the Lake District, so I was using the vehicle for that. And the idea of camping with the vehicle started around 3 years ago, and after that I was drawn to Defenders. So that was the main goal, and decided to go for a Defender 90 in black. And that was a good one. That had a brand new chassis on it, brand new bulkhead, it was like a blank canvas, completely standard. Decided to set that vehicle up for camping really, and not so vague on the road like the Discovery was. Tidied that up a bit and did a few modifications, you know, roof rack, decided on a rooftop tent, a bit of ground tenting, so sort of kitted the vehicle out mainly DIY, you know, with shelving in the back and nothing too expensive, just sort of working to a budget. After that we decided to get a dog, getting a German Shepherd. Obviously they take up a lot of space, so when we started taking Basil with us on camping trips, he would like to use up most of the back of the vehicle. It was getting more and more difficult to go for extended camping trips longer than a weekend, purely because of the amount of stuff we needed to take, we just couldn't fit it in. So I decided a Defender 110 would be needed to solve the problem, just to keep that off-road ability but have a larger vehicle and win-win sort of thing, you know. So decided on seeing a Land Rover Defender specialist about what stock he had in, and he had a really nice red Defender in at the time. This was about 8 months ago now, so not that long ago. I was sort of drawn to it because it was sort of already nearly set up, you know. It had a rooftop tent on it, which he was going to take off before it was sold. And it had an awning on it, and it, you know, I wasn't too happy with the awning because it looked a bit knackered, to be honest. But liked the look of the vehicle. Decided on to with him to do a straight swap with my Defender 90. Probably would have got a little bit more for it if I'd have waited and tried to do a private sale. But I know you get your tyre kickers, and you know it would have taken a long time to sell for the money I wanted for it. So I decided on a vehicle that I could do a straight swap with that I like the look of. I knew it needed a bit of work. I knew the chassis might have needed a bit of tidying up here and there, and so bought the vehicle. Decided to sort of kit that out, but before kitting out all the way I decided to tidy the chassis up. Once I got it to a place where I knew he could sort of strip it back, paint it and, you know, tidy it up, do any welding that needed required, he started chipping away at the rust and noticed that it was a lot more to it than it looked at the first glance. A lot more work was needed, you know, major pieces needed replacing, a lot of metal needed cutting out and, you know, replacing. He wasn't willing to do the job in the end and said it basically needs a new chassis. It's not strong enough to support the repairs. Went back to the guy I got it from. He didn't know it was so bad as we, you know, noticed it was, and he helped me out. Being a Defender specialist, he had a spare galvanised chassis, so I bought that off him for a reasonable price and decided to get the get the chassis replaced at a place local to the Defender specialist I bought it from. And they done the whole job within 2 weeks, replaced the chassis, you know, replaced any bushes that needed replacing. It was sort of another blank canvas to start again, a bit like the Defender 90 was really. After getting it back I decided to kit it out and, you know, set it up for camping again and overland travel. That was sort of what started off this really, you know, having the vehicle now that we love, and it's set up the way we like it now. Obviously there's a lot of things I still want to do to it, but it's perfect for what we want now. It's got the space, the dog can come with us, we can sleep inside the vehicle if we want to. Obviously you've seen the walk around video. We've got the other rooftop tent that I traded the clamshell type in for. It's just a lot quicker to set up and lower down. Obviously on a nice day that's when we'll sleep up in the rooftop tent, but generally winter camping we'll sleep in the back, and I've got a diesel heater in there, so it makes life a bit more comfortable. yeah, that's where we're up to with the vehicles at the minute. I'll go on a little bit about what sort of trips we've done and what trips we plan on doing in the future. Past trips we've sort of mainly stuck to the UK, Lake District, North Wales, the Scottish Highlands, NC 500 recently last year. Also last year we went up to the Hebrides, the Isle of Lewis, stay on a friend's land and do some activities with some other friends. You know, some recovery techniques, bushcraft techniques, knot tying, general knife work. Yeah, some wild camping on the island was lovely. So yeah, we've sort of stuck to the UK so far. Obviously we're fairly new to overland travel, but the plan and the goal is to get around Europe and sort of tour Europe and maybe go to the Pyrenees for a couple of weeks, you know, between the French and Spanish border. That would be a sort of an aim for the next couple of years. Maybe eventually get down to Morocco. Might need 3 weeks for that at least, you know, just a bit more time to spend rather than rushing the trip, you know. So yeah, they're the sort of trips that we'd like to do over the next sort of 2 or 3 years, maybe a bit more than that. So that's sort of where we're at the minute. So is there anything that you want to sort of see done on the channel? Any sort of things you want me to cover? Any videos, any content you want put up? Let us know in the comments what you'd like to see. Anything else you want me to go into further detail on the Land Rover? I can sort of, you know, show you what I've done DIY wise and sort of go into a bit more detail. I'll keep updating the channel with any further modifications. Obviously I mentioned the pop top roof would be sort of like a goal for the vehicle, which would just make things a lot easier for setting up the inside a bit more, making use of the space. So yeah, if you want to follow along, and we'll get more content up in the near future. I'll leave that with you, and yeah, just leave a comment below. We'll go from there. Thank you.